Now, I wanted to broach that subject with you for a couple of reasons. The first being that various eminent Bible scholars have taken very different views on how to interpret Revelation. Now, I'm going to go into some depth on this matter because it might surprise some of you, probably not most of you, to know that many Bible scholars and modern evangelical denominations view Revelation as completely standalone. In other words, it has no connection whatsoever to the Old Testament prophets or to anything presented in the Old Testament. In fact, while I haven't cataloged them all, from an anecdotal standpoint, my estimation is the majority of modern-day Revelation commentaries take that view. And second, there are several approaches, so let's examine the four main ones taken to interpret Revelation. Now, G.K. Beale has done a wonderful job of briefly and cogently describing each of these views, so I'm just going to borrow extensively from him. First is what is called the Preterist view. This word preterist has the inherent meaning of things that have happened in the past. So the preterist position is that Revelation speaks not of the future, but to things that have happened in the past. Specifically then, for them Revelation revolves around the destruction of the temple. In other words, it is John either truly predicting the coming destruction of the temple that happened in 70 AD, or he wrote his prediction after the destruction in a style that made it appear to be prophetic. Thus, preterists insist that John wrote Revelation during the time of Nero in 64 or 65 AD. Preterists believe that all references to Babylon, and there are many in Revelation, do not actually refer to Babylon or Rome. They refer to Israel. Thus, Israel is painted in a very bad light as a nation and a people who are thoroughly rejected by God, already judged for destruction. Thus, Israel becomes the great persecutor of the church, not Rome and not Babylon. Preterists inherently believe that God is through with Israel, that God has completely and forever divorced his people Israel, and that he has replaced Israel with the church, meaning the Gentile church. So preterists are automatically replacement theology adherents, and the emergence of the modern state of Israel is an unwelcome event. Now, I don't intend to attack any of these viewpoints. On the other hand, I will say that the preterist view is doctrine-driven as opposed to scripture-driven. In fact, the preterist view doesn't align very well with recorded history.